dia yo, ukaka mawai, ukaka dia wai, ukaka mawai, ukaka dia yo, ukaka mawai, ukaka dia wai, ukaka mawai. Vome boke ye de bakayo. Vome no kara wo de gone. Katoto yo ade mo wae. Mate badore kapie. Do wo mazu bobluwe. Ye dolo. Vome no de ye ke de dokarane. Ugu bora ru derane. Ukau dia wai. Mana badora kami ai, tau bau sa dua. Ia dalo, pamen mana ya kena dokarane. Ukau dia wai, ukau mawai. Ubano pira pira mal bapone. Bato ABC boyogune. Ukau dia wai. Kame kake ya umudai. Ya umudai. Ukoro pasong ya sadindo wai. Kaya ke dia wai. Eka kau ba wai. Get it. Zabakaria kaya kosa, udi bakaria kaya kosa, udo bakaria kaya kosa, kadada kura, ye unfro, en, do, trois, en, do, trois, quatre. Aïe zaba, aïe deiba, aïe kanaba, kana yawe bamwe. Kuba kosa, azaya we ba one, kuba ba no ya bonye. Adi ya we ba one, ke ni we ba lo. Go away, mapure go away, don't a die. Don't a pure, don't a twando wai. Don't a current tip no wai. Deble que desa yo bone. Bamba dosio. Waka nongo yo, waka dogo yo. Leso gene ya da glava wai. Bodi bana no gonga yi amai. Kade glu wera yo bon. Ukau dia yo. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia wai. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia yo. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia wai. Ukaka mawai. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia wai. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia yo. Ukaka mawai. Ukau dia wai. Ukaka mawai. Vome boke ye de makayo. Vome no kara wo de gone. Katoto yo agemu wayo.
And so, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on your location and where you're watching us from this evening. We'd like to welcome you to today's edition of the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Today is the 29th of September, AD 2025. And it's officially at 6 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia, 6 minutes past 10 o'clock in Rwanda, East Africa. We'd like to welcome all of you to the show here this evening. Today's edition is going to be super heavy because we got a lot of stories that we will be following here this evening on the Heat Hour program. As you can record, recently the Ministry of Education dedicated a modern high school building in Ganta City, Nima County. Students of that institution who've registered with the institution are complaining that they do not have instructors. There are no teachers on the campus. Every day they go to school, the place is empty and no teachers. We're going to be playing that recording here tonight. My brother Riddick Wambe spoke with some of those students today at the campus, and we will be playing a recording here tonight, and we're going to be discussing it. On the issue of education tonight, we got a couple of stories for you. There are a lot of schools around the country currently that are dilapidated. These schools are no longer in any good condition. We will be bringing you some of the recordings of some of these schools from rural Nima County, and we'll be discussing that. Why are we discussing this issue tonight? It's very important for you to know. Why is it I want to discuss education? Now, the reason why we're going to be discussing the issue tonight is because recently the government of Liberia, in partnership with World Bank, have decided to construct 100 new elementary schools across the country. But guess what? We have schools in the country. We have elementary schools. We have junior high schools. We have senior high schools across the country. They are suffering for teachers. Some of the buildings are dilapidated. And a lot more about this education stuff. Now, imagine we have the report in our possession here about the academic year 2025-2026. It will surprise you to know that the academic year 2025-2026 began September 1. That's first marking period began September 1 and it will be ending October 16, first marking period. But there are schools in Ganta. Now the students are complaining that there is no instructor. They go to school every day and they do not have instructors. There are schools in Bioyola that the buildings are dilapidated. We will be discussing education here tonight, lengthily. So hopefully the panelists will join us on the show tonight so that we can have it discussed vividly here tonight. Now, the next thing we're also going to be discussing is the issue of salary in Liberia. They want to let me say, I'm not the one who says, salary should be this way, salary should be that way. But it was the government herself. In 2024, the government announced to the central bank that they will be increasing salary for all employees across the country. And according to that report, the minimum wage that workers will be taking home at the end of the month would be 150 United States dollars. But guess what? Today, activist Martin Colley, I think many of you know Martin Colley. Martin took to his Facebook page today and he says some things that are quite correct. It will surprise you to know that there are people working 48 hours in Liberia, according to government standard working hours, and also the 2015 Decent Work Act. People work 48 hours per month. 48 hours a week. Sorry. And these people, some of them making less than $82 USD. Less than $82 USD. Oh man, my people, back. For God's sake, you got ministers, you got representatives, you got senators, you got the speaker budget alone could pay people salary for the next 100 years to come. Just one year budget. The speaker 1 year budget alone, it can pay workers' salary for the next 50 years. You got mothers that are working, you got fathers that are working, that got family depending on them, and these people making less than $82. Some of them making $82, some of them making $83. So what happened to the report? What happened to the part you said people were not going to take less than $150 per month? What happened to that? It is sad. It is frustrating. We will also be discussing that here tonight on the show. Now, the other issue has to do with service charge. The service fees that is being collected now across all government hospitals in Liberia. All of the government hospitals in Liberia, service fees are collected. Before they process you, before you have been processed, you must pay the service fees first. What happened to the free healthcare policy? What happened to that? But again, on the show, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. That's why we call it a Heat Hour program. So we will go for this break, and when we come back, all of the panelists will be on here, and we'll dive into the conversation here tonight. Without fear nor favor, we are here for you people, and I know because of us too, you are there. So let's recognize those of you watching us this evening on the show. Abraham Yanzi Jr., you're watching us from Ganta City, Nima County. Emmanuel George is also watching us from Ganta City. Daniel Maza is also watching us this evening from AB Tobert Road in Monrovia. Daniel, welcome to the show. Emmanuel Doya is also watching us from Monrovia. Emmanuel, welcome to the show. Those of you to listening to us via Radio Land, would like to say good evening to you. Welcome to the show here this evening. If you are celebrating your birthday today, we'd like to say happy birthday treat to you in a special way. Those of you too who have celebrated your birth anniversary already, we also like to say a belated birthday treat to you too as well. And those of you wishing to celebrate your birthday in times to come, we wish you a pre-birthday treat too in a very special way here at Fake Ceiling. Let's go for this break. When we come back, we will have all of the panelists here this evening so that we can have the discussion ongoing. But let's go for this break. We're going to be right back. Keep tuned and keep listening. If you just joining us, please help us to share the show with somebody. Invite somebody to listen alongside you this evening. If you are also listening to us via Radio Land, we'd like to say keep being there and keep listening. We will be back very, very shortly. So let's go for this break. We're going to be back.
kasere tukwe katoga mwoga. Represere de papa, kasere tukwe katoga mwopie. Jeremiah Kumbo, sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, seko gabowe. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, same wolo. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, wale tunawe. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, la réunion kwe o. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, on a rotima. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, rejeto yo. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, rito pawe. Sur le kwe paloko. De pa viye ta, la resi yeru o. Ni ma se kwa kone do na kwala, club no kwala, ye ken o pande. Apere no ne, ye ken o pi male. Kaka kwala, kwa kuye ku, kwa do kui, kwa sere do. Sande kwa e kwa vito. Apa sande kwa e kwa vito. Era no papa kanima kaunti kaya mai kwa kula kuno. Menu woke dike musadie tele twenye kasi eto woka die biese woka woko wo. Woku ya kuo. Lanza kumpon kanima kaunti kakoya mora unima kaunti kaya kodie. Ye kwa kula kune. Il est bon gros, avec ses lots, y'a mis passé, me reconnais pas, un petit peu, c'est la même drogue, Capina Janet, français coco, Moussa Bélé, Daniel Sepo, il est bientôt, Abafangaro.
Thank you for rejoining us this evening. Again, folks, we'd like to welcome you to the Hit Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Hit Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. It comes to you every Monday to Sunday, beginning at 8 o'clock Liberia time to 10 o'clock Liberia time. We are also relay on Voice of BKS in Butua Town, District 5, Nima County. Welcome to the show this evening, all of you. Like we say in our intro, students from the Francis Mawuya, Francis Mawuya High School in Ganta. This is a newly dedicated school. This is the first year of its operation, and the students there are complaining that since the academic year began, the 1st of September, they have not had instructors going there to teach them. Today, they spoke with the press in Ganta City expressing their dissatisfaction. So, why is it that since the Francis Mawuya Modia School is yet to open since the resumption of classes this academic year? We will play a recording from the students that spoke today with the media. But before we do that, there is something that I want to register to your mind. The government of Liberia, in collaboration with World Bank, they according to them, they will be constructing 100 new elementary schools across the country. Now the question remains: with the other institution that we have, some of them are dilapidated, Some of them, there are no instructors, like the students are saying. Why go on again to construct schools where we got schools across the country, a lot of schools across the country, but we do not have instructors? Firstly, I want to play you a video from Florida Public School. Let me say kudos to David Tan for this recording. David, kudos to you. This is it.
From everyone, if you have the means, you can come and help to revamp this institution. Invention. From everyone, if you have the means, you can come and help to revamp this institution. It's not about who wins. It's about the impact we make in the life of our generation, our future generation of the country. So thank you. We will be raising funds for so many facilities in Nimba so that we can give the best to our children. Everyone, if you have the means, you can come and help to revamp this institution. It's not about who wins. It's about the impact we make in the life of our generation, our future generation of the country. So thank you. We will.
Now, these are just few of the schools across the country. Some of the schools, the instructors are not qualified. We received a report today. If there was a clip going around that the students were not able to sing the Liberian national anthem, and the Ministry of Education has downside the current principal of the institution. Now, the problem we face in Liberia is not because of the school. We have a lot of schools across the country. But where are the instructors? Still on this education thing, let me play you this clip from the students that their principal was sacked recently because the kids weren't able to sing the Liberian national anthem. Let's play the clip, and after that, we'll go to Francis Mawuyan Memorial School in Ganta City. Here is it.
Salute our national anthem. Salute our national anthem.
This is among few of the problems that we are facing in Liberia. Among few of them. And you want to construct 100 new elementary schools across the country when the one you got to find instructors there is a problem. You want to construct schools when there are schools in Yola town that are dilapidated, when there are schools across the country that are dilapidated. Imagine an elementary school. An elementary school in Liberia has only 2 instructors. No, we cannot focus our attention on those things. We focus our attention on how to build the schools. We build the project, we leave it there, no maintenance, nothing on account. We just leave it there. And then we expect it to maintain itself. We expect it to be like that. a school constructed recently in Ganta that was dedicated, Francis Mawunya Memorial School. The students are complaining. First marking period began September 1. From September 1 up to the present, the students have not been having any instructors to teach them. Today, they spoke with the media. Let's play this clip from them, then we can be able to discuss it. Stay with us and keep listening.
Okay, so we want to say good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this live interview with some students of the Francis Mawunya Memorial School. This school quite recently, on the 21st of July 2025, it was opened to the public. It was officially dedicated by the Vice President of Liberia, His Excellency Jeremiah Kwan. But since the resumption of classes this academic year, the students here are yet to go to classes, only because there are no teachers for them. And so the students have been concerned. Many of their parents have been calling on us almost every day. We decided to come and speak with the students themselves who are affected, because the academic year is not going to be held back for them. How are they feeling about this whole delay that is causing problems for them? We will speak with the first student. Good morning. What is your name? And
Good morning. My name is Jeremiah Somokoklo.
okay.
I'm from the Francis Mawunya Public School, and I took my entrance here. I was successful to attend this school.
Okay.
But from the opening of this school, since we have been coming here, no teacher. And sometimes we can go in class,
And what is your class?
11th grade,
Okay, you're in 11th grade.
and no teacher can come in our classroom. But sometimes they can come and talk to us. They will tell that, oh, you're bad this week. You will see teacher in your class. Just a past Friday, we spoke with one of the minister and told that, oh, you'll be having your orientation, which was the past Friday. And we came on the campus here, we never saw anybody on the campus. We sit, they told on the told that we should take our leave, which is Monday today, we're going to see teacher in class. But to our utmost surprise, we saw the guy from the CO office and told that they don't have any power under this thing. They are working on it. The woman of the ministry, which is the Minister of Education,
Yeah.
she said that she have to be here to open the school herself. So we should just be here until next week. Hopefully, we will see teachers. That's what they told us. And it's going against us. Our friends are taking tests. Other schools said they are going through that note, their own revision. But all will come here, you will come here, you will come here. We'll pay our copy to come here. But in any order to say that we'll be here on the 4 o'clock, they think it will not benefit us. So we have to take the airway or to see how possible we can get teacher in our class.
How far you live from the campus?
I live in Glenlow.
Okay, Glenlow.
Yes,
So you pay your way every day to come and go back.
of course.
What do you want to tell the minister if she is watching you right now?
I just want to tell her that I should fire her and bring teachers on our campus, because if we come on the campus every morning, no teacher, it will not benefit us. So we apologize to her. And she try her possible best for her to see how teachers will be on the campus.
In your class, you how many?
For my class, I think we are 85.
85 students.
Yes.
And all of you, there have been no teachers in your
No
class.
teachers.
Okay. So let's speak with you, the next person. What is your
Memphis
name?
Mia.
Your name?
Memphis Mia.
Mr. Mia, welcome.
Yeah.
What's your class?
11th grade.
Okay, 11th grade.
From Francis Mawunya.
So you came from another section.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to add to what your colleague said?
Yeah, I was successful in the entry that we took.
Okay.
Yeah. But since the store is so open, we don't been receiving teacher in our class.
So how do you feel about this entire situation?
Yeah, I'm feeling bad. My colleagues are feeling bad too. And some people still requesting for their money to go attend different school.
There are people who want their money to go back, in fact, to go to another school.
Yeah, but all the schools can't go far.
Yeah.
And some school they said they are trying to take care. Some people on review time, and we cannot go back. So we need begging the administrator to bring teachers on our campus or to learn our lesson.
So since the resumption of classes this year in other schools, what have your teachers been telling you, or the administration, what have they been telling you?
The teacher will come, but we can't see the teacher since September 1st. We've been attending here, been coming here. We can't see teachers.
Are you discouraged?
Yeah, I feel discouraged.
What do you tell your parents? Have your parents been raising concern?
No.
So let's be with the next person. Chief, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm student Morris Wense from the SNF Field Academy High School.
So you came from there and then you decided to attend the school. What's your class?
I'm in the 11th grade.
Okay. What do you have to say to what your colleagues have said?
Actually, to buttress to what my colleagues have said, actually, it's affecting us, it's affecting everyone, all of the students here, because it's our education matter. So we can't begging the minister and also the minister over there, we begging Madam Jala to send teacher here so that we can be able to get acquainted with the lesson that they have already prepared for us, and also to be in line with our friends, because it's actually affecting us. Like you were asking my colleagues whether the parents can ask or make concern about it. For me, my parents can make concern about it on a daily basis, because anytime I go home, my mom see me going to the hour where she not expect me to go home, she can be asking me, I can say, Mom, it's not about me, that the ministry. We always ask the people, they can say, the people have to send people for, due to certain inconveniences, they're still working on it. Like the first thing they told, they said they want for all of the teachers to be on government payroll before sending them. That one pass. They came again for the second time. They said the minister was not in the country, she went Japan. So they're waiting also when she returned back so she can come and do the grand opening. That's the information we're here today. But actually, we all here are feeling disenchanted about this because it's affecting every one of us. Our friends are in other schools there. They are going ahead with their lesson and other stuff. So it's affecting us. And if we continue like this, it's not going to be fine for us. So I recommend that the ministry should look on to us. They should hear our cry to see how best they can send instructors here.
What is the reason for which you selected to come here?
Okay, the reason for which I selected to attend the school is that because I hear from my colleagues in rumors that this school is going to be one of the best schools in Nima County. And one thing with the environment of the school shows that this school will have one of the best and qualified education system in Nima County. And with the requirement, I came and visited the campus, the class, the facility, the environment also encouraged me to attend the school. So that is why I'm here.
So now you are discouraged?
Yeah, I'm discouraged actually.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we'll still with some female students as well, but let's be with this last male student. Yes, what's your name?
My name is Benedict Logan, speaking from the Francis Yama when I'm in school.
Benedict, how are you?
I'm feeling good.
How long have you been coming on campus? Since school open? Or?
I've been coming here for almost, I can say 1 month now. No teacher has been coming on the campus. Every time we come here, we have devotion to tell us that teacher will be here, morning we should go home, teacher will be here. But we've been coming here since no teacher has been coming on the campus here. We come and sit in class now, bro. Me and dog can come and lecture with us. In lecture and tell us that teacher will be coming here. And one time said they put the minister on and spoke with us. He said Friday will be our orientation.
Last week Friday?
Yeah, last week Friday. And we came here, we started the whole day, nobody come to have the orientation with us. So we went home that day. And it told us that teacher will be on the campus here on Monday. And we came on Monday, we started in class, we started on campus here, we didn't see anybody. Didn't see no teacher, so we spent the whole day again and went home. When I go home, my mom asked me, she said, why are you in school today? I said, Mom, because I always lie to my mom that we can have classes there. Remember, going to be on the campus there helping us. Because I really love this school and I don't want to leave from here. Okay. So I sometimes tell us that we have class, we start in class and they explain to us. So I sometimes lie to my mom, but really this is going out of hand because since we've been coming here, no teacher, we just sit on the campus there and always pay our way from our home, pay our way every morning. We come on the campus there, no teacher. So right now, I think there's some grievances out there, especially the media.
Have you been meeting a student group to maybe discuss among yourselves what to do?
Yeah, I can say my colleague Morris, we set up a group, a leadership in a class that we sometimes lecture each other and bring books to read to each other, but really to go and meet the administration, we have not yet done that.
You want to say something finally? We didn't ask you.
Yeah, if the minister is watching me right now, I'm trying to tell her that we really need teachers on this campus. We need to learn because some of our police are learning more, and I can see some people are starting tests. Yeah, some people are starting tests. So they really need to try and bring teachers for us. Not always we want to be hearing cap from them. They need to try and bring teachers for us. Thank you.
Okay, Benedict, right?
Yeah, Benedict Logan from the
Benedict Logan.
Model School.
Yes, thank you so much. So like we said, we speak with some of the females. My sister, you want to speak with us? Come closer to the mic. Okay, so let's speak with you. So all the females are afraid to speak to the press? We're talking about girls' education here. Come on the mic. So let's walk to her. So now the Minister of Education is a woman like yourself. So why you think you're be like Ellen Johnson Sirleaf tomorrow? What is her name?
So me Avina Findo.
Avina?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. What class are you in?
I'm in the 11th grade.
Okay. You are in the 11th grade, but next year you'll be in the 12th grade. Your school is your education has been affected gradually. What do you have to tell the minister and the authority of the school?
I have to tell the minister that we are apologizing to her to provide our teacher, and even the government, they need to sit and think on it. As for we, the girl children education is important for us. And if women be educated, it will not be a waste to her. So we apologize to them to provide our teacher. Every day when I go home, my grandparents say, I'm not working on the campus. I don't even want to enter in school, but through the problem that my grandparents were getting me, that will make it attend in school. So we apologize to her. Let she look at we the women too, to feel pity for her and come and bring our teacher.
How long you been coming here?
Since last week. About 3 weeks here now, we now have the same teacher. When we tell us, we have the teacher we can. Since then, we same teacher.
How far do you live from the campus?
As for me, I live right back road.
Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you too.
So that's pretty weird. You don't want to be on the mic? Okay, so if we still have some boys that want to speak, the male students, do we still have some male students who want to speak? All right. No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so this is the campus. Many of you have been asking which one of the schools we are talking about. This is the beautiful campus of the Francis Nyamawia Model School here in Ganta. It was dedicated, as you can see on the wall there, it was dedicated on the 21st of July 2025. And since school resumed about four weeks ago now, there have been no teachers in their classes. There are 2 classes here, 10th and 11th grade, but every day the children will come to school and no teacher in their classes, nobody to speak to them, and they keep giving excuses every day. The teacher will start coming from tomorrow, and the tomorrow will come, nothing is done. A vetting process was done by the Ministry of Education in Monrovia for those who will be qualified to teach in the school. Unfortunately, since that vetting was done, we are yet to see teachers. There is no principal here. There is no vice principal for instruction, no vice principal for administration, no administrator here, no classroom teacher for them. This is a big dream, a good dream, but it is now been misused, and maybe we can say misdirected, because the students are getting very discouraged. Imagine 4.
Now, you listen to all of those students, you listen to them. My only concern here is, while we have all of these good school buildings across the country, that they are not being functional like the way they're supposed to be functional. The government is going around lobbying for additional schools to be built across the country. When you got schools that are built but no instructors, when you got people that are even teaching but taking home little or nothing. I mean, if you're listening to us, Vixie Link, you can call us on WhatsApp to make your contribution on the show here tonight. If you're a student, we appreciate more students calling, because we want to know how has it been like from your end? How many instructors do you receive per day, and how can you rate the teaching there from your institution? You can call us and make your import on the show here tonight. But again, this is concerning. This is seriously concerning. You have this kind of building, international partners put their money in it, and for it to be functional now, this is where we have the problem. All of us, not one person, not two, not three, not four. These are the future leaders of tomorrow. Very young, like you and myself. But these people, their education is being played with. And then tomorrow, the government will start complaining that, things are like this, things are like that. Students, youth aren't serious these days, and all of those things. So it's difficult. You got people, even the registration, if it's not that much, but commitment matters a lot. You have these students complaining almost 4 weeks now. You got less than 3 weeks for first period to end. Now, how do you expect these students to stay on track with other students in other schools around the country? It's sad. It's bad. What is the problem? What is wrong with us? What is really, really wrong with us? Look at this kind of modern school building. Very modern school building. And no teachers. This is really, really, really heartbreaking. It is really heartbreaking. It is really heartbreaking. So one of the things we said today was we were going to discuss the issues surrounding we said we were going to discuss the issue that has to do with service fees being charged at public hospitals now across Liberia. So that too is concerning, that we need to look at it. We need to look at it. I have a receipt in my possession, but due to patient's confidentiality, I cannot put the receipt on here. But again, today, activist Martin Colley took to his Facebook page and wrote some piece of information. Now, let me read what Martin Colley wrote, then we can have a discuss. If you're just joining us on the show this evening, we'd like to welcome you guys to the show. Emmanuel Doya watching us from Monrovia. Brunella is also watching us this evening from Butuo, Nima County. Siliki Tori, as always, Siliki is here. Siliki, good evening. Welcome to the show this evening. Now, with the issue of salary in Liberia, you got ministers, you got representatives, you got senators, you got a speaker taking his personal salary and his office budget can pay over 5,000 teachers across the country for nearly 10 to 15 years. But these people are not receiving the money. So today, my team wrote on his page about this. I will read what my team wrote, and I will also read you the press statement from the Ministry of Finance in 2024 that was expected to take effect this 2025 fiscal year. Now, today, this is what Martin Colley wrote. We won't call employee names. Only employee IDs we will deal with. Since we have a lot of payrolls of various ministries and agencies in our possession, let's start with the payroll of the judiciary. These are just a few. And he mentioned nearly 15 persons on this list. But let me tell you the interesting part of it. Now, you have an employee with the ID number 430750. This person is making $115 in gross. That's the total money they make. And after taxes and everything, the net salary the person take home is 86.99 cents. Now you have another person who is making 115 in gross, and after taxes and everything, the person is making 87. Another person too is making 115. After reduction, the person is making 88. Now, if somebody living in Liberia, now people, you're joining me on this thing. If somebody is living in Liberia, that person working and you paying $88 per month. $88 per month. Let's take the rate of 200 because that has been long-standing rate in the country. The rate of 200 and somebody making $88 per month. That's $17,600 Liberian dollars. $17,600 Liberian dollars. Now, when you have a family man, someone with maybe 3 living children, let's put it that way. I want to explain this thing in a very simple term that our people listening to us via Radio Land will understand the struggle that the ordinary Liberians are going through and how the people sitting on the top are enjoying the fruit of your labor. They are enjoying it. It's like the one we call monkey work, bamboo chop. Now, a family man of 3, and this guy is taking home $17,600 Liberian dollars per month. $17,600 Liberian dollars per month. Let's take, for example, he buying 1 bag of rice every month. Now, that 1 bag of rice every month, we assume that the person is buying that bag of rice for $3,000. So you minus $3,000 from $76,000. From $17,600, you level $14,600. Now, this man had to send his children to school. Now, look at the condition of public schools in Liberia. Nobody want to send their kid again to public school. Now, you see the kid that registered recently at the Francis Mawuyan Model School in Ganta. Since the 1st of September, these kids have not been having instructors. Since the 1st. So this man making $17,000. We want to go out of the extraordinary to send his kids to private school. He got 3 kids. He's sending them to a private school that yearly they are paying maybe $8,000. Minus registration and that of uniform prices. The actual school fees per student is $8,000. Let's put it that way. So this person paying $8,000 and he's making $17,000. Now, to go and register the case, take for example, he's paying $2,500 for registration. 2,500 times 3. That's $7,500. Now, earlier on today, you've already bought a bag of rice, which costs you $3,000, and now you are left with $14,600. Now, the $14,600 minus $7,500. You left with $7,100. Now, you now as a working man, you will need money to pay your way to go to work every day. And you're not just buying a bag of rice. You need to buy some other accessories to add to them, some provisions to add to it. So when you do all of the calculation, everything, this man is working for nothing, and he will even go in debt. But you got representative taking over 10,000 United States dollars plus benefits. When I mean benefit, they are taking money for scratch card, they are taking money for gasoline, and they buy them the car. But you got a man who is working 48 hours a week, and you pay that man less than $100. He got family to take care of. Imagine those things. Imagine that. But you have a speaker that his budget is more than someone in the United States budget. A speaker in the United States budget is more than that. And you got people who are working effortlessly, you're giving them $88. Amen. Amen. They may get family to feed. He got house rent to pay. He got electricity bills to pay. He needs to put data in his phone. He needs transportation. His kids are going to school in the morning. They need to eat breakfast. When they come from school, they need to also eat. But then, the man making $88. Imagine that, $88. Where are we heading to? What is happening to us? So it's hard. It's difficult for us to talk. We sit down and blame companies in the country. We blame them. We tell them they are not doing nothing for us. And we're taking all of the money, we leave it in the legislature. We leave it there. Then somebody making $88 per month. Anyways, let's welcome you to the show, Madam Lorena. It's good having you on here. I can't talk about the school business. I know that you're just coming from class, but it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, yeah.
Now, since you just coming, I will take us a little bit back because you are a mother, and I know definitely that you will want to discuss these things before we go to the other issue. The Francis Mawunya Memorial School that was recently dedicated by the Vice President, Jeremiah Kwan, they spoke with a journalist, according to them, since the first of this month, that the first period started, they've never had instructors to teach them. They go there every day. There will be folks that will go to them to tell them that be patient. Next week we'll bring you guys instructors. Be patient. Next week we'll bring you instructors. And the instructors are not coming. Where do you think we are heading to? That's the major question. You saw recently on Facebook the children that were not able to sing the Liberia national anthem. That's not the only case. Another scenario is the government, in collaboration with World Bank, will kick off the building of 100 elementary schools across the country. But you got schools in Bioyola and other parts of Liberia that are dilapidated, no teachers there to teach the children, and the government is going around to say they want to build another schools again when we still have schools that there are no instructors. What say you on this thing?
Yeah, so I will start with the issue of the school that was dedicated a few weeks ago by the vice president on behalf of the president of the Republic of Liberia, and that they have not started school. And the idea of starting school on September 1st, it sounds good, but for me it's not even good because it's kind of strenuous for parents. So let's say schools close in July, late July, or sometime around before the Independence Day celebration, and then it's 1 month, and then maybe 1.5 months September schools resume, and parents have to buy shoes, have to buy copybooks. And in some cases, if the child is changing school, maybe if they were in elementary going to junior high, or even if they're in the same school, they have to change uniform. So sometimes when people want school resume, especially for public schools, the administrators are kind of flexible on the students. And actually, you will notice that October before actual lessons start. And that's the reason why you will see most of the time when the Ministry of Education says school should close in June or the first week of July, some schools don't close to the last week of July. So, and then what I know about that school that they have not resumed classes is that I spoke with the CEO, though I was talking to him on a different reason, but then I got a reason for why the school is not in session. So, about on the 18th of this month, we launched our Path for Dignity project in Lima, which is intended to give sanitary pads to girls in school. So he was one of the, you should accept one of the speakers for the program. And so when I called him a week before he committed, and then the day before the program, he called me and he said, oh, no, the day of the program, he called me and said, oh, Lorena, I received a call at the ministry last night, and I just entered in Monrovia. I came from Monrovia. Nima, I get in Monrovia, but I had designated someone from my office, and then the resident DEO will be at the program. So I said, oh, but why is it that emergency? So he said, no, it's about the school in Ganta. The president had mandated the minister that the school will serve at a model school, so that they are going to not just a regular way of people going to teaching school. So they are going to vet teachers based on a lot of criteria. So that's the reason why they cannot do it without, in isolation of the CEO. So I said, oh, okay. So for sure on our program, the superintendent was the launcher. The resident DO, which is from St. Kodema, one Mr. Dodo, he spoke on behalf of the CEO. So for the school, that's all I know about it. And then coming to the idea of the government wanting to build more schools, I would say yes, the government needs to do that. Because, for example, in, let's say, Lisuno, if you say in Guam, and if there is no school in Guam and the children have to walk to come to Pala for school, honestly speaking, there will be, in your data, there will be 5 students who will leave halfway. They will not reach on campus. They will be there playing. And because most of the children think about their entire grade, 2nd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. So I would say the government need the plan of being 100 more schools. That plan is necessary. I would recommend further that the government should also, do some touching, improvement on the existing schools that they already have. And it's not just on the structure of the school, but also, look at the teaching staff, look at the administrator, all those things to see, qualified, but just as they want to make the school in Ganta to be, they should also, existing school, they should also improve the quality of teachers they have, the administrator, they should improve them. And the school in Bioyola, Jion, it is not the fault of the government, because I have worked in Bioyola before anyway. For the record, I'm the first certified midwife that I ever worked in Bioyola clinic. So you cannot have or that's a community. So people are not just innovative. When I work in Bioyola, even when I work in Complex at the health center at the MCA and here, so we distributed, we divided Complex per zone. So zone 1 will have to come on certain day, certain weekend to brush a compound, because we only have one maintenance staff then who could not brush a whole yard. So people could just be innovative. School is coming to open. Why will it cause the administrator or the principal of the school to call the PTA to say, we need help for us to clean the campus? You don't expect the president of that bureau, neither do you expect the minister of education to go and brush on the campus of the school in Bioyola. If I were the minister of education and I see that picture to that man, I would take him and transfer him to, I don't know which, the end of that bureau. Because innovation, you're not just going to school and getting the degree. That's why I can always tell people, it is the knowledge, it is the skill, and the attitude that make competence. If you have 2, you just qualify. Until you can have 3, you are not competent. You cannot be the principal of a school in the interior and you're not even able to mobilize PTA member or parents to come and brush a campus. Or even your own staff, especially the men, that say school coming to 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, you don't brush a campus.
Let me ask.
So
let me ask you.
On the government,
Yeah, let me ask you, man. You've lived in the United States. You've lived in the United States. Mm-hmm. There are public schools there. I'm not comparing the US with Liberia in any way, but do you think it is the responsibility of the parents or the students to go and clean the campus?
Okay, so I will not give you a yes or no answer. Let me just tell you something. And thank God, you say is here, who also live in the US. In the US, when the school is coming on project, they do a paper, they do like note or like a work and give it to each student, and they kept public school and give it to. I'm seeing it become a nephew. I have a niece who graduated, and I have a nephew who is still in high school in the US. and they send it to the parent. Sometimes they're maybe $50, maybe like $25. The parent will have to put it back in that thing and clip it and send it back and send it back that student. In Liberia, parents are not able in public school. I can say for sure that parents will not be able to contribute $25 to a school project. So what a parent can contribute would be that the PTA to come and help to brush the campus, especially when you come into the beginning of the school year, because I know during the course of the school year, that is something that the school can decide how the campus will be brushed. But in they're coming to what the opening of the school is something that it can be done, because in the US, parents can contribute to the school project. So that it's $50, so now it's $60. It just depends what the nature of the project is. So if we want to compare, yes, parents are contributing to school project. That's why all the funding schools get. They still contribute to school. I'm seeing it because I saw my cousin, so I just told her take her children to be my niece and my nephew. I saw her do it for her 2 children. And yeah, they say can baby witness if I'm lying. But now I go say it to can't hide. Say every month pay $20. They think they will go and KVP for you. They telling parents to pay $20. So I think the best they can do is have the best campus.
Welcome. Let me ask you this other question again, Madam Lorena, before we go to Yedasa to make his input on this thing. Now, many of the schools across Liberia lack instructors, lack everything: the technical staff, the teaching staff, the security personnel, everything, the lack of them. What could be your recommendation to this government that you love and support so dearly, that we can improve on this sector? We can move it from this stage to this stage.
Yeah, so I just said it when I said I support the idea of the government building 100 additional schools, and I also said I would recommend that they improve on the existing one, and that's part of the improvement. And I said it's not just about the physical building, but the instructional staff, the administrator, the support staff. They need to make sure, because let's say for a school like Kanha, you cannot have one support staff, maybe the maintenance man. It is what if he's sick for 2 months while school in process? How do we have things going on? I just said it. So I would recommend, in as much as I support the idea of the 100 additional schools across the country. Remember, it's across the country. Let's say for example, River says got only one high school. So don't you think they need school and the other schools in that there maybe one more high school in River says? They do. Because River has only one high school in the whole country. So, but the government should also be able to improve on existing schools, improve on the physical building, improve on the instructional staff, improve on the maybe hiring another maintenance and the support staff that has to do with security, housekeeper, and the rest of it. Because some of our schools, that for me, the village my grandfather came from, and before we could go to secondary, before they could settle, I am renovating the school in my home. The school was built in 1982. I had never seen cement on the floor or wall or anything. I am doing it for myself as a daughter and giving back. So there are many schools across the country, more than maybe 50, 100 that in a situation or condition. So I will encourage the government to do a full assessment of what our schools look like across the country, and then they have to improve on it, not just building 100 modern schools and leaving the existing one there to look like we are in 1847.
Thank you. Now we will pause on this and go to Yelesa to have his view, but this could be my recommendation to the government. I've seen Liberia. When I was in high school, we visited Guinea and Ivory Coast on a field trip. And fortunate for me, I left and came to Rwanda here where I'm going to school. Things are quite different. Now, this could be my recommendation because of the way I've seen it. Government institutions in a country, they are run by government. The academic year 2025-2026 began already in Rwanda. Students in high school, you do not have your own will. For example, if you are living in Montserrat, your name might register in Nima, and you will go to Nima and go to school. That is your responsibility. As parents, you have to release the kids to go to school. Once the academic year finishes for that 9 to 10 month period, you leave and go back to your family. But it's not like that. Now, it's true that other counties do not have school, but look in Nima, for example, you got all the elementary schools, especially in the villages. The other time get school that the students that are going to school cannot reach to 50. The next time get another school that the students that are going to school cannot reach to 50. Why can't you just build one modern school with a dormitory? That every year, if there are 500 students, this school will obtain 500 students. People go to school here from Monday to Sunday, from 8:30 in the morning to 10:30 in the night. And that's a schedule. Only in university, you have to plan that for yourself. Or in high school, the government plan it for you. So it is left with the government to tell you that you go to school in the afternoon from 2:30 to 10:30 in the night. It is left with the government to say you go to school from 8:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. That is with the government. But we got all of the schools around. None of them are being equipped. None of them being modernized. But we still want to build other schools. Now look at the Francis Mawuyan Model School that they built there. Very beautiful school. But should we consider that school to be a school that is up to standard? I would say no, because a lot of facilities are not there. There is no staff quarter, no dormitory for students. What if a kid from Montserrat want to take transfer to that school? Someone that is underage. Do you expect that person to go and live outside of the school? To do everything outside of the school? So if
Which school now?
The Francis Mawuyan Model School, that's the example I'm giving. If, for example, a kid that is attending J.J. Roberts in Montserrat wants to take transfer there, that person is maybe 16.
But you just said, you comparing Rwanda, you just said if you're from Nima, you have to go to school in Nima. So what the kids of Montserrat coming doing in Nima? We'll compare, you contradicting yourself now.
No, my point I'm making is...
dormitory school is different from just a regular school. I went to dormitory school in high school. I went to boarding school in Eureka in second year. So there are schools that are dormitory school. And if they dormitory don't have if it is both girls and boys, you have a dormitory for girls and for boys. And some schools are just day school, like you go to school and even go to your parents. So it's not every school that is dormitory school.
So now this is my...
There are few schools that are dormitory school, and there are schools that are not dormitory school. And most of the dormitory school in the US are private school or faith-based school.
Okay, now this is my recommendation I'm making. I'm saying in other countries it is done like this. Because it is done like this, we can bring the same system to Liberia. The schools are already there. You got school. There is a school when you're going to a town in district number 2, where Floyd Toma is from.
Duogoton.
Duogoton. When you go into Duogoton, there is a town along the way that they call Mao. When you see Mao school, you cannot compare with any other school. Mao. When you see the elementary school in Mao there, you can't compare with any other school in San Nicolas, for example. Very beautiful. But nobody there going to school. That school building is empty. It is a ghost that sleep in that building. But you still want to go around to build schools, which is okay. But why can't we improve on this one that we have? Why can't you just go and put a dormitory over there, assign the instructors there, and you will be the one to tell the parents that this is where your kid will go? It takes 2-3 years, people get adapted to those systems. They move on with it. But every year we portion little money for education. Every year we portion little money for health. And it's not helping. It's not improving the system. Other country here in Rwanda, every fiscal year, 80% of that budget go to a specific sector. For example, health. 2025 fiscal year is only health. Hospitals are being improved on. Hospitals are being built. Vehicles are bought. Things are bought around. Now, the next fiscal year, it will be another sector. And the 20% of that budget will be shared on the remaining sector. But in Liberia, it is not done that way. But we have our ministers, we have our government officials that travel to see this system. They leave from there, they come back to Liberia, and things still remains the same. Gila said, why say you on the thing? In your district, Billy, you saw how the children were singing the national anthem.
Yes, so I beg you, Junior, just give me 15 seconds. I don't want it to be like I'm denying the fact that the school needs improvement. I just said it. The school need to be improved because most of the school are not to standard. Like I said, I even renovating a school. But I also said there's a need for additional schools in the country because, for example, Riverside, I got 2 senators that will pay with taxpayer money, have only one high school. So I think those are some of the data the ministry look at and say, yeah, we need additional 100 schools across 15 counties. So don't make it seem like I'm denying the fact. I'm not denying the fact. The two can be done together. If the government wants to do it, they will do it, unless they don't want to do it.
Thank you. Let's hear you, Chief.
All right, thank you. I think a couple of days back, I saw that video circulating online when one of the sons from the district, I don't know whether he was passing through or what, did that video. You know, that the town in which in question is not far from my home, from Gameplay. They are neighbors. But, you know, with that school building used to be one of the, I would say, funniest school building around there. And I believe that as time progresses, the maintenance and everything is collapsing. I overheard Lorena talking about the system we have here when you ask her. You know, when it comes to running public institution here, right? Those people take into consideration the maintenance of those facilities, and then those people are then placed on salary where they go and get paid. If for other curriculum activities, children get to be sent home with phone. I have 3 going to school right now, a 5th grader, 3rd grader, and a kindergarten. They all came home over, that was immediately when it opened, about 2 weeks into their schooling in August. They came home with a fundraising forms that were given to them. Now, they were taxed to raise funds. Whoever brings the higher fund get a prize for that. And what the listed prices before, all what people name, maybe some $17, $20, $5, $10, and so forth. Now, those children went around the church people, and then some purchased what all they needed. And then when they came home, we also got an audio. Those funds goes to extra curriculum activities. Whatever the school needs to do, it goes into that cover. And I think it's true. Liberia, you can't tell somebody, say, you're not principal or whoever will not tell children, say, y'all go and bring so and so amount. The interpretation is quite different. Okay, back then, students used to brush. I remember when we were at Gapley Inland Mission, we have every Thursday as a working day. Every student from morning to maybe recess period is working time. All of us will go out and brush and clean a yard to make it look good, which was done every week. But those things is dying down these days. So the maintenance, right? The town people themselves needs to help. Government is setting fire out. It is all of us collective effort to make sure that our surroundings and environment, you know, get a good facelift. And I think that I think today I overheard they probably suspended, or I don't know whether dismissed or suspended the principal. That is not a good step. We don't know what happened down there, but I think it is about time that we educate our people. Those school buildings are there for your children and children use. The way in which we will handle it will make it stay long with us. Well, how long will it take people, man? Come on, to come, men in a community, there where their children go. How long will it take them to just go and brush around those places and make it look good for children to come in? The PTA chairman is there. Why they can't collaborate to make sure that those places get a good facelift for students to come on board? Now, school resume. I know it's still early, but it will also better for the administrators to say we want every student to tomorrow is our working day. Let's come together and clean our surrounding and make it look good. It is not a crime. So we got to clean our environment, and we are talking about. I know the teachers health science in the school. If health science is being taught in an institution, they also require you cleaning your surrounding, making it look good. So it is not a crime to tell students we having a work day tomorrow. We all will go there, bring your colaces, bring your cleaning material. Let's go there and go clean our grass. And I think it should sound a caveat to all schools within Liberia, within Nimba, that whenever school close, so open, let it be the duty of the PTA to collaborate with the administrators and make sure that the place look good for children to come in. Because our system is not built to say go and tell y'all go home and tell your people we bring fundraiser, we want them to pay 25 to the grass so we can pay people to brush the grass. Here we have those grass machine, which just use gas. Somebody said in it, if even a very large portion in less than 1 hour, once you get a rowing machine, it's running, you're sitting down, you're driving it yourself. In less than 1 hour, you clear all those places, it look clean. But that is not the case we have in
so you let's say
yeah.
Okay, let me say something about the fundraising. When I was in school there,
yeah,
sometime in a month we used to have 2 color day celebration. They used to call it color day. Per classes, I remember the higher money we pay was $100. And at that time I was in Mara Taught Me Elementary School. We were close to 400 in class.
In San Nicolas, right?
In San Nicolas. So imagine you collecting 100 from 400 students. And you're doing that every month, twice in a month. So you can't put that money in better use.
You can, right? That also boils down to management. You know, these are things that if you are running an institution, you need to be someone who is developmental oriented. If those funds are coming in, knowing fully well that you can't tell somebody dad or mom come and work, and the person is in that institution not getting paid, but you expect the person to do the work. Now, if those funds are being collected, it should be placed in an account to go towards those things we're talking about. Because I think my mother is a teacher. My sister-in-law is also a teacher. I myself taught before. I taught in Monrovia and I taught in San Nicolas when I went to then Nima Community College. Now, teaching itself is a work, and those on government payroll are people considered teachers. I don't know whether the government is thinking about incorporating janitors on payroll so that those people be assigned to a school. And then we're talking about cleaning, man. The environment is dirty. They go and clean it, bathroom, all those places. You can't just take students from class and go clean the bathroom. No, you're depriving the child from learning, from education. But if we do have a cleaner, let's say a janitor within the schools, where that person will be going to those latrine areas, cleaning them, disinfecting them, you know, the person takes pay. But I think our only focus is teachers writing on board. These are people who consider teachers, and then we get paid them. not taking into consideration the other necessary components that need to be included into an institution. That's why a public, without comparing Liberia with America, like America is advanced, but within a public institution in some places, those people have been placed on payroll. They wake up to and go to work that is seen with teachers wake up and go to classroom. It is their job. So I think we should be thinking, the minister should be thinking in that direction, getting those people on the payroll. Let's have people, even if they have, let's say, okay, we're talking about Berkeley right now. Berkeley, that the surrounding, that's the immediate surrounding. You could have, let me give you a story. At Gapley Mission, right, there was an old man, he's not alive again. He had children that was attending Gapley Mission. His oldest daughter at the time and I was in the same class. But because this man could not afford to be paying the school fee, he served as security for that mission, right? He served as security for that mission for his children to go to school. That was his father's job. Every night, this old man would come, leave his house and come to the mission and be patrolling all night until the morning hour. He goes home just for his children to go to school because he didn't have the means to pay all 3 children's school fees at a time. You know, we could do those things. Myself here, when we were at Gapley Mission, we were 3. My mother could not pay all of our school fees. But somebody was on her wall, and the other my little sister, because she was the matron at Gapley in our mission, my little sister was on she was not getting money paid for the dormitory services because my little sister got to go to school, and that money from that goes towards the little girl's school fee. So she was only paying for one person. That's how people do things. We need to start thinking in those directions that schools try to bring on other people who are not teachers, but to be caretaker of those places and make sure that the surroundings and environment be clean. Well, now when it comes to general working day, those students can come out and work. But there should be people assigned to those institutions taking pay and make sure that that is their job. I think we got to incorporate that in our schooling system in Liberia as well.
Thank you. Let's welcome DK White to the show. Now, I still want us to go back to the same school thing. San Nicolas Central High School, for example, the principal spoke recently to the media, and he said they have over 900 students. And registration, to my knowledge, this year is 2,500. Now, the government is saying this money, we don't need it from you. We want you to use this money to settle some other issues within the school. For example, your bathroom and other things on the campus. The rest of them, the government take care of them. The chalk, everything, the government take care of it. So you are raising 2,500 times 900 students. If you do the calculation, you're discussing close to 2 million in a year. And you are raising the money not only one academic year, but every academic year. What are they doing with the money? You see the school looking the same from 2018 up till present, everywhere. Go to JDPS in Ganta, all of them raising this money, but they are not giving account of them. How are they using the money?
So there were now we're talking about accountability to come in. If an institution is collecting those money and the government is not telling them, collect the money and send it to the central government, but they're saying collect the money and then stay within the institution to use it for other purpose. Now, the other purpose, if I were them, my thinking should go in that direction. I need maintenance on board. I need janitors on board. All those things, that $2 million, you can pay people salary out of it. and something leave for you to do whatever you want to do. But now I think those schools' authority needs to answer question as to where those funds, what are they doing with that money, where is it going? So it can be like maybe somebody put a few group of people putting their money in their pocket and so forth. Because frankly speaking, we're talking about sanitation right here. Liberia, we don't have a well structured bathroom system, right? We still digging hole, putting cover, and then people goes there. Those places got to be clean as well. Is there toilet tissue available, or we still using papers? You squeeze paper and then use it at the end of the day. Now, especially girls goes to bathroom. Why, if they are in their period, is there menstrual pad available for them as well? All those things needs to be taken into consideration. We need to grow up now and start depending on people, because I know some NGOs will come around and distribute those things to the girls' children in school. Why, if okay now Trump was saying everybody got read, no USAID program available these days. Those things USAID provide services that include that, but we don't have it these days. So it means, will we still be looking from outside to get help? That's where we should be thinking now and say, let us try to incorporate and help ourselves before help come and meet us. I mean, I saw the presentation by a girl. She's a Ghanaian, right? I think it was a cultural festival. They had all other African countries standing by. And then this girl was talking about Liberia. She said, I am Liberia, the mother of Africa. And then how Liberia assisted those various countries like Ghana, South Africa, and you name it, Nigeria, all those places. How Liberia assisted them when they were gaining their independence, while Liberia, they didn't explain that all. Quote unquote, we are the mother of Africa. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda came from their genocide. See how Rwanda now is considered Liberia Dubai. Let's say Africa Dubai. But Liberia is still there. Why can't we grow and have this mentality that we need to develop our own living space so that it can be conducive? Why men will not come from America and can't say, oh, that are going to develop Liberia? We ourselves have to do. But administrators needs to start answering questions as to where those funds, and I think the administrator need to do some job right here. If you are telling institutions to keep those funds and use it for other purposes, there should be a specification how those money will be used and reporting forms. CEO, that's a job right there. Make sure, visit those institutions. Let's see whether those funds, the internal purposes are being met. Don't just sit in your office at the end of the day, you expect some kind of Brian video check to drop in your office after they are collected auto fees from students. I'm not saying they eating money or they're saying something else, but equally so, we need to do something that Liberia educational system needs to grow up and stand independently. They're where children goes to learn. They found the very foundation. You see in nursing, right? They got something they call Lunar Day. The Lunar Day is if you are in a nursing school, if you're not learning the basic step, by the time you say, oh, I'm a nurse, maybe you get to assign to a hospital and you alone on shift. When some situation arises, if you don't know how to tackle that, it becomes your Lunar Day. You alone there, nobody there to give you idea. So Liberia now needs to start embracing what to do and move developmentally and move forward. We need to start depending on people now and move ahead. And we here from Tri River, that schools. We come start pressurizing old man to start doing something good down there.
Thank you.
My next target, I will take when the day I get to Liberia, my next trip is to take a Vera tour. I did it some part of 2024 when I went to Liberia. I went specifically to Gapley Mission and I saw the institution. I came back. That's why you see I'm mobilizing for Garclay institution to be rebuilt, to send some qualified instructor down there and send some materials, and that's what we're working on to do. We have to start doing that now with all other schools across the district to make sure that we have a very solid educational district within electoral district number 4.
Thank you. DK, welcome to the show this evening. Even though yesterday you went for your program, you didn't see my own DSA, the executive money you're enjoying in America. Back out where you're down there, you're enjoying the money. But let's hear you, Chief. Couple of things being discussed tonight, bringing from students at the Francis Mawuya School in Ganta that are crying for instructors to some of the dilapidated schools across the country, and the government signing an agreement with the World Bank to construct 100 new elementary schools across the country. What say you on this matter?
So we can build all the state-of-the-art schools across, let's say, the 73 electoral districts. If you don't have qualified teachers, it will just be empty building. We don't have qualified teachers to operate those schools. So families now, including myself, will look for private school. So because the current system of our country, parents now look for private school, that they know that it's not up to the standard they want, but at least they are accountable. Africa and in Liberia, I hope my network is better. I'm leaving. Yes. So I said Liberia and Africa in general is the only place that people feel government is not the best. Where we are, John, government institutions are the best. Government institutions are the best. But in Liberia, for instance, people are afraid to send their children to government school because that's what is our market. People are afraid to send their family to government hospital because there's no system there. A lot of things that I was listening to yesterday need to change about our country. When George Weah announced about the 6,000 teachers, that's something that he could not do, but it was a very decent idea and a very good thing to do. I remember the Manasseri time, we used to have ECOWAS teacher coming. I remember they used to have the Nigerian teachers, the Ghanaian teachers at the Butu public schools. The government of Liberia needs to do that. Even if you are not bringing foreign teachers, focus on at least sending 6,000 Liberians to Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria. Let people train there as teachers to come and take over the schools. Yo, I graduated from college in Liberia before going to computer school. Because the computer are there in college in Liberia. You use to learn now. You're over 45 and they get 5 computer in a place. And you just go there for 5 minutes, just stay in front of the thing that I look like. And around us there, all the kids, they go to school learning about that. There are people working to government institutions in Liberia. They don't know how to boot computer. That's how rotten our system is. Then they have teachers that don't even know how to pronounce computer. So we look, all the people around us are in the 21st century, and I think we are in the 0th century in Liberia. In Liberia, for example, government institutions still communicating with writing letter, putting envelope, then somebody go drop it. When lawmaker writing president, when Cook are there writing braga, they will pull out, they will tear that letter in computer, print it, pull it envelope before they send it to the marshal, and somebody had to carry it to the marshal. Everything about us is just behind time. Everything about us is way behind time. I was listening to somebody, I think a year ago, that talked about, I think Lorena is in the health system. I talked about putting our health information to, I just forget them, but the assistant, a guy here, that John, when you go to Cali Hospital, your health information that was there, JFK will pull it out. Whether you are JFK, Cali, you are going to you go to JFK today, you put your information there is the medical situation you have before that you visited Cali Hospital. JFK will pull our entire information out and know the treatment they were giving you, why it didn't work, and they have that data, know about everything. You know, nothing like that.
Now continue.
Yeah.
That system is called health information management. It's a kind of degree that I don't think Liberians have been open to that. That's what I specialize in.
Yeah. So we don't have, yes, I don't think the things that they have in the health system here, people need to have it in the school system that you can access. Somebody was talking about DEO and CEO. The only thing the DEO they can do is to go to those schools during the week to intimidate the already teachers that are not qualified to intimidate. Let me see your report. Yeah, the report. Our teacher in that mind, you will go look for some kind of 1,005 or chicken to get to that DEO office. Then they release him to go. I went to school. My uncle Henry, where my man and only brother was teaching me in Yale that time. I think they call it social studies, first grade that time. Uncle Henry had our note for over 10 years. He was teaching first grade without seeing note all the time. Over 10 years. Every school year, one people in first grade. Even my friend Emmanuel was saying, he said he had a geography or agriculture teacher in Vanha. That same note, they were without me for 5 years. And so, take for instance, a teacher in Blatia, he will play, for example, he teaching history. That history thing I met teaching since 2005, that a master. That may have never updated that thing. So I had to say Rawa was there. So everything about us need to change and start with the policy makers. How the policy makers doing it? They only want to be rich themselves. So then they give money to people. They be talking for them. Oh, that man is a very good guy. George Weah, the master leader, Joseph Yuma Braka. Oh, that old man is down to earth. Oh, Joel Howard Taylor. Oh, Vice that everything. And I just saying, people because I wanted to start it for Joseph Jiggy Rawa that the current people are just naming them. So no offense to them. So many things beyond the education, so many things. And if we don't change the education system, we will not change anything in the country. If we can't change the education system, we will not change anything in the country. They get people who go there, Lorena, they get people who go to nursing school. In our place, they call themselves nurse. They can't get drip. They can't get injection. But our nurses then there. Some of them you see their red team. Joe, why would somebody be a nurse? When you see the thing then they can read, their Facebook pages. They suggest everything. They don't know which one is when, which one is where, everything. They're not between sin and sin. They're not. So, plenty of things in our place need to be changed. And you have to start with the education in our mindset. So that topic you're on, it will help people here. You just leave all alone because they're not ready in our place there.
Thank you. So now this will be the last topic that will take us on the show tonight. Today, Martin Colley took to his Facebook page and wrote some things about the gross salary and net salary that people carry home from the Ministry of, let's say, the judiciary. He didn't put their names there, but he mentioned their ID number. And when I saw that, I had to go way back to do some little research. When this government took over last year, 2024, through the Ministry of Finance, they released a statement that no individual, no government employee in the country will be taking home less than $150 as gross salary, as net salary, I mean. And it is also enshrined within the Decent Work Act of 2015 that these people will be paid at least $150. But today, the information we saw on Martin Colley page, there are people who are taking home $86, some are taking home $88, some people taking home $87. Now, for politics, void of which regime that you supported, what say you? Let's start with you, Madam Lorena. People making less than $100. Somebody with family of 4, for example, making less than $100 per month in Liberia. Now, since you are our mother on the show, I would want us to make the conversation interesting, where you would tell me how you can buy the food in the market, ranging from bed or rest to the maintenance of children, the maintenance of the house, paying house rent. Let's do it like that and see.
Okay, so while I haven't verified that information from Martin, and the finance ministry have now also come out to either say it's true or false, I would want to take it as it is. And the reason I'm taking it as it is because in the past, when something is said about the finance ministry, maybe maximum 2 hours, they come up with a press statement or with something to say it's true or it's lie. So since Martin made that post, it's been hours upon hours, and I haven't read anything that says, oh, it's not true, it's not lie. So if it is true that there are people that are making $80 or $90, I will be kind of disappointed. And the reason why I'll be disappointed is because one of the things we said was that we'll make sure nobody is paid below $150. That's one of the things we campaigned on. And then most people, if somebody is making $80, let's say even if it is $80 net, and that person, let's say the person, even if the person even already has a house in Monrovia, and the person is making $80. So if you look at a 25 kg rest, let's even take it at $14 for bag, and the person have a family size of maybe 4, and that person, they mean they are going to be using more than one of the 25 kg bag of rice a month. So which will be that 14 plus 14 will be $28 minus $80, which will be left with saying that $56. So if that $56, and you have to cook soup. So I would just say that it is sheer weakness. It is. I don't know how much to say, because there are ministers who are making $5,000 to $6,000 United States dollar, besides other benefits like scratch card, gasoline, and things they get. And even in fact, there are other people that the government is providing housing for. And mind you, the person who is making this $100 is paying tax. They are taking 70% of that money off. And so I don't know, how do we intend to address it as to even achieve the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030, if we are still paying people $100 gross salary in Liberia in 2025, we got 5 years to go, or let's say 4 years to go to 2030. So, and if this information is not truth, we will encourage the finance ministry to come up with or rebuttal statement to maybe even though very ID number, though very employer identification number, they can put it there without a name and say, okay, instead of $100, the person is making $150, and then the people they will speak out. Even if they don't speak out on Facebook for fear of losing their job or whatever, they will speak out to Martin, to other people, because I don't just think it is fair for people to be paid $80 a month. Even me as an employer, I will feel guilty if I have to pay a professional person $80 a month. You know, they give to be. So it better I say it's voluntary and we'll give it maybe compensation, maybe for transport. They may put it some way to, but to say it is somebody's salary, because if you say it is voluntary, the person can decide to accept or not to accept. But if you have people in the employ of the government and then they're making $80 or $100, I think there's a lot we need to do to improve. If the government wants to improve on it, if finance wants to improve on it, they can improve on it by cutting down most of the unnecessary spending and directing that money or redirecting that money to augmenting the salary of those people that fall in that category. That's why I would like to say I wouldn't want to go so deep until maybe tomorrow or by this time. If finance doesn't say anything, then of course we'll take a story at 100%. But for now, I'm just saying if it is true, I will see it as share weakness. I will see it as a contributing factor to say, okay, Liberia must stay in poverty. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's hear what say you know.
Okay, Junior. You know, I live in a world that labor is very much expensive and appreciated. What that means is that even if it is 30 seconds or let's say 30 minutes that you spend with somebody, you get paid for that. And we have what we call the minimum base and the salary that people goes out and work for. There's a minimum for that here. Now, so people are paid based on qualification, especially on the teaching profession. And I think for someone to be teaching and still making somewhere around $80, which I think the U.S. rating Liberia right now is around I think either 160 or 160 something. So if you times 80 by that figure, 1 second.
Yeah, we got to do that together because
yeah. So 80 times, let's just say 165, right? We're talking about
13,000.
Yes. So someone making 13,000 with family and other things, it's nothing. I think our government, on a very serious note, needs to step up. If that information emulating is true. My mother is a teacher. She's trying to retire now. I'm the one forcing her to still be there because I don't want her to do by forced retirement for herself. But it's nothing. As we speak, she make this exact amount, $13,000. There's no nothing over it. Exactly 13,000. So think about somebody making it 13,000 and she has to feed herself. It's nothing. And not just teachers alone. It's about time that we upgrade to a certain extent. Because other things, if we have people taking at least a little amount that can carry them for some time, we will be fighting some other issues that we are fight. We won't be fighting some other issues that we are fighting today. But somebody can be teaching and making. In fact, some make less than that. I know when she started, it was Rick Monroe. She was making somewhere around 9,000, 8,000. Sometimes when she go to get money, it would be 8,000 and change and so forth. When we all were still there by then, somebody making this money, and now 13,000. It's just nothing. And you expect this person to teach from maybe more than 2-3 classes here to where I live, right? I'm not comparing Liberia to here, but to where I live, I know that a teacher is assigned to one classroom. Let's say we have 2 or 3 sections of first graders. You have 3 first grade instructor right there, first grade teacher right there. So one person will not be roaming around. If the number of classes you have, you hire according to that, but that is not in Liberia. We expect one person to teach all around, maybe 4 or 5 classes a day, and this person is going home with this amount. So honestly speaking, there is still work that needs to be done as the government promised when they came into power or during campaign season. Those promises gotta be fulfilled. These are basic things. When George Weah and his group harmonized the people's salary, it became a major topic. Harmonization. Yes, we saw the effect on our people. Now, we ran on our very premises and hopefully became victorious in the election. We have to fulfill that promise we made to our people. Let salary, especially those teachers and police, those people, we need to really take care of them. These are law enforcement agencies too as well. We need to take care of them. We need to take care of the civil service. They need to be well taken care of than no lawmakers that we're talking about. Yo, man, you said over there, they step whole day. At the end of the day, they agree with one another. They sign one of them, one envelope, and then they go sit down and go to their houses. Whereby those same people that are becoming lawmakers, ministers, president today went through a teacher who is still making less than a peanut that they can't even feed their family for a daytime. On a serious note, there's still work needs to be done in Liberia. Our system is deplorable. If we need to put system in place, we have to start doing that right now, and the government need to put their act together and make sure something better is being done in Liberia. Teacher can't make that amount. What is more frustrating is that those same people in our position today, they have lived in the Western world and saw how valuable labor is. Listen, I can't go to work here and somebody is giving me, let's say, maybe $12 or $15. And I say I'm comfortable with that. No. All right. If I have experience and you hire somebody who just coming in and then the person is making more than I do, there's a problem right there. Now, I think the government need to put measure in place and pay people based on qualification in the teaching profession. Somebody got C certificate, there should be a set criteria for C certificate, cap, salary. AA, B certificate, all those people should be a cap, a bachelor, because the pay system in Liberia is not stable. Somebody have bachelor and somebody have C certificate, or let's say our AA makes more than some bachelor holder, which it shouldn't be. But I think there's still work needs to be done in Liberia on a very serious note. That is not acceptable. If that information is true, then our government needs to do. We came to rescue. Let's rescue all together, but not to rescue very few that are enjoying the labor, the sweat of our people who stood in rain sun to bring this government to power. Teachers are people that needs to be welfare, well taken care of, including our security apparatus. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, before we go to Praise and the CEO, the decent work out of 2015, chapter 16, that talks about protection of wages. That law is a shame. I personally would say that law is a shame. Now, chapter 16.1a, it says every formal sector, which is the concession, the industry, the business, etc., the worker or the employee are entitled to be paid minimum wage of 68 cents per hour. You understand? This is the law we got. Somebody working in concession, somebody working in industry, somebody who is working for a business person, and you say the man should be paid 68 cents per hour, and that 68 cents per hour per day is 5.50 USD per day. Somebody making less than $6 per day. That is within a concession. Now, for domestic workers, they take 43 cents per hour per day. That's $3.50. Somebody working whole day, domestic worker, the one that we call the janitor that we saying that okay, government should employ them. The decent work, I see how you marginalize them. And sadly enough, you see a speaker of a house who is taking his personal salary, he taking his benefits. That man get his office budget that can pay over 1 million teachers per year. Just his office budget. What is he doing with it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But again, that's the country we find ourselves in. Chris, you just come in, but let's hear you. What say you on this wages thing?
Let me say thank you, Gio. Let me say good evening to our viewers and our fellow panelists. I've been finding the argument or the discussion, but you know, where my dear good friend and brother, in there, I will start from there. The inner man. I remember a few years ago when the former government brought about homogenization because there are some people who are in the system making more money than some, assistant minister making more money than the other minister. When the government, thought it was at that time to, to bring it to equivalent, there were issues that people, flew with around there. They said a lot of things about it. I was thinking that when the government came to power, they could raise it back to the system. It was bad yesterday, but today I just say going to know. Look at the pay stuff, even from the justice ministry. What kind of country, is this? When we opposition, we know all the best. We get into the system, start to do the same mess. Today, all those senators are complaining. Jared General complaining that the economy was in a bad shape now. It's in a good shape because they are opportunity to fly around. Our teachers, they are making a good, money. But they expect people to stay in the classroom from 6 in the morning to 3 p.m. or to 3 p.m. in the evening. At the end of the day, to give them money, you don't give them a good pay. They say there will be no correction or corruption. At the end of the day, will go back to collect money from the students. Okay? Even the labor minister, he's an over Nima. He's a legal man. Are you making use of the Jesus law? He's not making use of it. Then we'll talk people say, oh, we have issues. When we talk people say, oh, we don't talk with the people for this. They put over Nima. He's a legal man because the question is a legal person. Is it using the law against those people? He's not doing it. That's a country we find ourselves in. Whenever we talk people say, oh, the Nima people in the position, we can't talk against them. I don't think it's going to be so. I expect Council Kuba, who's a legal person now, to start making use of the law to compare those people, compare the government. Right? That will make sure get a good pay according to the decent bill. Are they doing it? No. The only thing they care about is to get work permit to foreigners. They make more money, they find out they make more money than their own Liberians. If that's a country we find ourselves, so Gio, it's an issue that all of us, not just about SYZ, but entire Liberians who have love for this country. I think we have to stand up and speak on this. Because as a teacher in Kawakin, The teacher in Nima, they haven't paid, referral money to the man. At the end of the day, they'll go back in the classroom to empower those students, to collect money from those students. That's why you see all around that era when teachers give the test, at the end they'll go collect money from students because they're not receiving what they're supposed to receive. President, President Protemer receiving more money. Her budget alone is more than the hospital in Tabata budget. The President Protemer, her budget more than hospital budget, the hospital in Tabata budget. The speaker budget alone is another issue. So those guys use the ordinary people to get up and make money out of people. They have teachers in the classroom who imparting knowledge. They're not making correct 300 in the 200 set. And that person have people to take care of. That way last time I was talking about the job, the LT, the DA officer. People say patriarchy. Why have pictures that will do it? If you don't pay those people, teacher patriarchy, let's see them with the teacher today. I hope that my brother from Indiana, the last time I talked about the DA officer issue, he was talking about patriarchy. Now he understand what we were talking about. Those teachers not making money. We'll say collect money for students. So GM is a frustrating. I don't want to just keep talking about that. We talk about nothing different with me. The minister we have now is so we have experience who left me in America here. She went Liberia, she doing the same mess, they continue the same mess. So Liberia is a different country on planet Earth, GM. I will stop that for now.
Thank you, Chris. Even though you came late, but you made your points. CEO, if you are there, you can speak to us shortly on this issue before we go for our parting comments.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I came late. In America, we got to put in our hours. Yeah, we're not looking at Sis Lorena and in Liberia enjoying. She know the system here, but she know how things work here. But I was at work and I ran a little late, so I missed most of the discussion. So I think I just grabbed a little bit and pieces there. I heard about the disparity when it comes to paying teachers. So without even knowing much of what you guys talk about, but just that topic alone is something that is worth uh, shedding light on. Our next generation depends on us, and education usually serves as the bedrock to any vibrant society. When you look at China today, they are competing with the United States when it comes to education. But they are investing a lot of money into the STEM program, science, technology, something in mathematics. That's something that they're actually tapping the U.S. when it comes to that. And the U.S. woke up later on. They are investing millions and billions of dollars into that to be able to equip their children for tomorrow. So they are getting prepared for the future. And the way to fight that battle is through education and equipping today's generation. That's the next generation, tomorrow's generation, by equipping them with education. Without any good educational system or any good educated generation or society, that country, that nation is bound to not succeed. We can see it with the worst results from our country, from our students. Even LU entrance, when you take LU entrance, you'll see people failing massively, and people laugh about it. Even I think you play a certain video from District 4 that had those kids singing the national anthem in a funny way, and everyone laughing at it. I know it's funny, but sadly it's not funny because that's our future uh, that we are looking at and laughing at. There, you cannot, I tell people a lot in Liberia, you have two systems. You have the middle class, not middle class, but you have the upper class and the lower class. So if you are not rich, rotten rich up there with the government workers, the folks that are, making the big bucks, you're down there where you cannot even afford $1 to live. You can't have teachers who are plugged with impacting the next generation, the future generation, the future of the country, making nothing. And then we talk about bribery. I also listened to a guy, I don't know which school it was. He was talking about bribery. One of his students talking about going to Belgium and all that stuff. So all those things, they come from the way in which you build a society. And if you are going to do that, you need to spend more time on investing into our educational system. And that will also start with paying our teachers good. You have to pay them good money to be able to stay in the classroom. Teaching is one of the hardest things to do, right? So I feel bad for our teachers. I think Chris also mentioned the police officer. Those are another group that I also feel bad for them. The money they make is nothing. By the time you finish spending all that money, 150, 100, by the time you finish spending it, or by the time you get it, you know, you have pay your way, children's school fees, and all that stuff. So I think our country, the leadership that they are leaders, not just this government, but the one that I came before. Even under Madam Ellen Sully Johnson, she's talked about our educational system being a mess. But I don't know what much they did for it about it. So it's a big topic that will need people from diverse backgrounds, the expertise. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist or a PhD holder in education to know that our system is flawed. Our system is not well equipped. It's not prepared for the next generation, the 21st century. We're not even close. Look at Ghana. You know, the system in Ghana, the educational system in Ghana is up to par. The reason why it's like that is because their forefathers, the people that came before them, they built it. They put plans in place for their future generation. And when the kids leave from over there, they come even to America here, they are always on top. Kenyans and other people. It's because of the way in which we treat our people there. So I think it's something that is worth looking into. I don't know if this current government can do it all, but it's also incumbent upon all of us, the lawmakers, the citizens, every one of us to be able to respect our teachers and our lawmakers and look forward to seeing some improvement. But we can talk all we want. If there's no serious plan in place to make substantive changes, we won't see anything. But yeah, I'll stop there for now, and I think that's my 2 cents I got to add to the fruitful and juicy discussion tonight.
Thank you so much, CEO. It has been a really, really good conversation. Like we said, this educational thing is a conversation that all of us need to engage with nowadays, because I saw a report from U.S. Embassy in Ghana about 2 or 3 days ago regarding their student visa, their student permit, how the years have been increased. And I said, I felt bad within myself, because we in the entire Africa, people take us to be next to the US, but these kind of opportunities are not given to us. And I'm getting to realize that the reason these kind of opportunities are not given to us is because we are not well prepared for them. We are not prepared. World Bank put a money in a project in Ghana, and the kids are there for the past 4 weeks now. No teacher. No teacher. They just there. They just going there every day. They leave. Our calendar, like TK was saying, people teach the same note for over 7 years. Our calendar still look the same. We
They
got
were 30
science.
years. 30 years. And the one woman.
Yeah. People doing biology without a lab. People doing physics without a lab in Liberia. We fall prey to those things. We didn't have any other practical knowledge from there. But emphasis is placed every time on education. And I don't know whether the government is doing her best, but I don't think they are doing their best enough. I don't think so. But another topic that we'll catch up on here tomorrow will be the issue of health facilities now being paid for across the country. All the public health facilities in Liberia, they are being paid for. Recently, when our information leaked from JFK, there were reported press statement. But now that it is taking effect across the country, there is no other press statement to inform the Liberian people. People just go to the hospital thinking that the same system we met there 2-3 years ago, this is the same system we are going to see. Unfortunately, when they reach there, people start to ask them, you got to pay this fees before you are being processed. Now you see, it's bad. The Ministry of Information have a press briefing every day. Why can't you inform the Liberian people? But it was a wonderful show tonight. Let's hear you, Mana Lorena, tell us your analysis and your parting comment. You did extremely well, you know. When you lay the basis for how money is being spent in Liberia, me, I know you. The day you and I link up, incoming representative of District 7, seeing her son, you will spend more than $88 US on me per day. Then they pay somebody that money for a whole month. But let's hear you, man.
Timing is very key in everything, and you all should stop all these your District 7 election thing. Because Josiah Buse made a post today, and the Honorable former lawmaker District 7 screenshot a post and send it to me.
But you
So
noted Mavazin stopped coming to show the few times because of the same District 17.
Yeah, because
what?
Because Mavazin team, your competitor.
Yeah, you'll be going against Mavazin, so.
Yeah, so now it is time for us to prove to the people that the side we stood for, what we said, what we told them that the side we have done to make sure they do it. That's the reason why one or minister or director, I don't care who you are, you do the wrong thing, I speak against it. So when it is time for us to make that decision of contesting in whatever district, whatever county, will make it known. But again, what?
You scared of announcing the show tonight?
Yeah.
I started by saying timing is key. That's what I started by saying. It was a beautiful show tonight. I want to say thanks to our viewers on Facebook, on YouTube, and to our followers in Radio Land. I mean, our listeners in Radio. I want to say thank you for always making it your business to be on here, maybe buying battery or maybe charging your radio. I want to say thank you, and thank you, Gian, for the topics tonight. I think they were very good. We can only be sure of the next generation of Liberia by the school we have today. And while I support the government building additional 100 schools across the country, I also think the government should also make it a part of the package to improve on the existing ones. Some of the buildings are no windows, no door, some no floor, some no chairs or benches for students to sit on. People take away chairs from their home. People stay, sit on the bare floor. We are seeing a lot of pictures of that. We started seeing it, I think, from the second term of Madam Salif. It is kind of frustrating that some of those conditions still exist across the country, while the government idea of building 100 new schools across the country is a great one. It is much better for them to also improve on the existing one, and not just a physical building, but the kind of teachers they have in the classroom. And someone went to go do menstrual health hygiene, and a health science teacher put out a hand to ask me the question if it is right for a woman to go palm butter when she's menstruating. So health science teacher, so imagine the English teacher would say in one day. So I mean, we should not just grab anybody and put in the classroom because we feel okay, there's a school and no teacher there. For example, in District 8, there's a particular school in Guam. They have 5 teachers from ABC to 6th grade, 5 teachers. Only one of those teachers is a government paid teacher, and the 4 are volunteers. And one of the citizens who lives in the US, he made it his business that every month he sent money to the community people, and then to pay the 4 volunteers. So Mr. Bede, he's the son of one of the stakeholders of NIMAD late, Louis Bede is Louis Bede's son. He lives in, I think, Ohio. Yeah, so I want to use it to say thank you for his contribution towards our community. So I mean, building the school is not just a thing, but the existing ones we should be able to improve it. The government, the Ministry of Education, and I know the minister having worked in the sector in America, in the education sector. I know what she sees here is far below what is in the US. So I am hoping that as she end year 2 of her term as a minister, year 3 will be better, and some of the crowd across the country will be laid to rest. Volunteers will be put on payroll, and the buildings will be improved. And also want to say CSA should be able to work with finance to make sure their volunteers are put on payroll, because if teachers go to classroom to teach and they are volunteer, that's a room for corruption. That's a room for fraud rather. Because me, the teacher, in my mind, the teacher will be asking students for $100, $200. The child in blue, they want to take it $200 for the beginning to teacher for every test, and not one teacher, maybe 3, 4, 5 teachers. So I think there's a lot to be done improving the school while they build new ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just with the last statement you made about volunteer teachers, there was a leaked audio from UL recently where the student and the teacher were having conversation about bribery, and the teacher asked the student, "Where do you want to go?" So they use this kind of language that people will not understand. The student said, "I want to go, I think, Germany."
Yeah.
Then the teacher said, "No, I was saying France." So these are the kind of situation we face with. And in the recording, he said, "We are sacrificing. Like me, I live in Kakata, Magibi. I pay my way every day to come here, and I'm a volunteer teacher. So with this little team, when y'all give it to me, it can help me to pay my way and to do some other few things." That's just to tell you that the system we got needs to be worked on. Yeah, let's hear you, Chief.
All right, thank you, John. It's a good conversation tonight. What we are saying here is we need a betterment of our country and our county and the district which we hail from. Education is key. Whoever becomes president, ministers, senators, all those sources and positions they occupy pass through a classroom teacher. And equally so, building educational facility is not bad. But if you build those facilities, is there qualified people there to run the institution? Qualified people there to teach? That's the question. Managing those facilities is another aspect. And I think this government still needs to do something. You came on board to rescue Liberians. We are still hoping that the rescue mission will rescue everyone. Please, government officials, I know you guys listen to our voices. I know the VP, they said they making we flipping through all the talk show. When come, he get a switch. When you listen to the one small, then he'll join, he go to the one. I know you listen to our chief. All we're saying is we want the better. The better you guys do something good for Liberia, the more it is that you guys will still be in power. John Brown didn't do better yesterday. The Liberian kicked them out. And today it is your turn. We don't want for that repeat to happen. Whatever did not happen in the past is something that you guys need to do right now. The issue of education in Liberia is what we're stressing on tonight. We need more and more help within the educational system. Qualified teachers, not just being qualified, but then equally paid or well-paid teachers. The issue of salary should be something that needs to be seriously looked at. Pay people according to qualification. Don't do pay discrepancy. I know the CEO sitting here knows that whenever there is pay discrepancy, the face can frown up. Nobody wants to be in that kind of situation where you both qualify with the same maybe credentials, and then somebody makes higher than you, but then it's expected that you do the most job while the person float around. We want our teachers to be paid well. $80 is money, but it's less. Most of those guys in $80 can't feed their home. The government official, $80 can't feed their home. So why would somebody be making $80 and then you're making $7,000 on top of that just monthly for you alone? That is not right. We need to start looking in those directions that taking care of our people, because if somebody is paid and satisfied, all the corruption thing we're talking about, it will start going away. But the issue is the one that people receiving is nothing. So at the end of the day, we'll have to do something on the side to get something out of it. So it's a word of plea to the government. You came on board to rescue. Let the rescue mission rescue everyone, not just few. You know, DK talk about, I have 12 electoral district number 4. All right. And when I came on board, I heard Lorena talking about Bioyola. We did a project, and we are doing a project in Bioyola as we speak. But during the COVID-19, we did a project in Bioyola for the organization here. We pretty much reached out to all the health facilities within the district. But at the end of the day, I get to realize that some of those facilities are still in some deplorable conditions. Now we'll get to health tomorrow. But what we're saying now, education is a key. We need those people to be well taken care of. And again, community people, let us not wait on central government to do everything for us. If we realize that our school building where the children goes to go learn is getting bad, let us all jump in to rally around. We can go spend 8 or 9 hours on a farm whole day brushing farm. Why can't we just put maybe 1 hour into cleaning the environment of the school to make it a little better for our children to go sit down there, especially when school is about to open? It's not everything that central government got to do for us. We also got to take the initiative sometimes. Like in recent times, I saw a picture from Gameplay where when I requested to see the inner part of the building, most of those chairs are broken, and they took them and piled them up all in the corner. But then some children coming to school, they're bringing their own chair from home to come and put there. You know, they are not good. We need to start doing something. The government still need to start doing something better to make the educational system like in Liberia look better to people. I bet I said something here the last time. The only way, even if you come into this country, especially we're talking about health sciences or maybe nursing. Let's say you came from there and say, "Oh, I want to come here and continue my nursing education here." I bet you, if it is not a degree that you brought, even if you bring a degree, you got to go through what we call evaluation. To say I'm taking a state board, when you take the state board to practice independently, is very high in this country because they don't trust and value our system. Or somebody will come from India and come here and work straight. Somebody will come from Nigeria and come with their document and work. But why can't Liberia, who is considered a sister country to America, why can't this happen to us? We need to start thinking in those directions and make sure that our educational system is up to standard. That whenever they see us, they recognize us completely. So that is my contribution tonight. It's very essential that we do those necessary things to make sure that Liberia is up to standard and meet the needs of our people daily. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. CEO, let's hear you then, Chris, to take us home.
You asking me?
Yeah. Let's hear your analysis, your pattern, comment in one, and we'll go to Chris.
My analysis will be the same thing that I just said. So, just want to shed light on tomorrow. I know you talked about healthcare, but we'll be hosting our law enforcement expert, Alfred John Johnson, tomorrow. He got vast experience, knowledge when it comes to law enforcement.
How do you America looking at? The way they never been able to be done, I think I can't know. Wow.
No, that call, some of them call count the phone. What happened?
Nah, we can be sitting here, people can call me, man. We're using 5G on this side. But anyway, let's hear you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Before I give my panel statement, let me quote this from Nelson Mandela. And I say education is the most powerful tools, or the only tools or weapon that used to transfer the world. If that's a tool that will come to Liberia case study, you know, the government said they're building 100 schools, they're going to build 100 schools. I don't think it's necessary at this time. There are schools in Liberia that need renovation. There are buildings in Liberia. There's a guy going to examine the country on a wap like I'm going to go around. When he shows some errors, just in Nima, I'm not going to go Bon Country. Use Nima as case study. You will see over 100 plus schools that needs renovation. Right? The next thing is, if you build those buildings, if you don't have the teachers to go there, it becomes another problem. So I think that what the government should have done, there are a lot of teachers in Monrovia, like in the city. Government should have used that money for whatsoever money coming from to build teachers' quarter across the country. If you go to Nimba, if you go to Saki P, for example, you build teacher quarter in Saki P. You go to Mutuo, if government school in Mutuo, you build teachers quarter in that area. Now, if you take someone from Bon County, don't find that person to go teach there. The person go live on that dormitory or on a teacher quarter. It's a 2 year, therefore, after 2 years, you come for that person. If you build a 100 school, where do I get teacher from? If those CAA teachers are saying Liberia or teaching this village, they will teach in that area. I don't think that 100 school is next step at this time. There are school buildings. They have renovated those school buildings and build teachers' quarter. But you say you want to build 100 school. The other schools in Liberia, they continue looking at them that way. You don't renovate those buildings. That is there. Committed people paying government school that they have. Committed people having to pay the people. Government school. Is that serious country? And we have someone who came from America here. I don't know how many times you can visit those countries. They sit in Monrovia, maybe 1 time a year, they visit those countries. That's all they do.
Yeah, going.
Right? So at the end of the day, it's become difficult. They create an environment where there are two kind of America where we are today. They lay, they go back, to lead our people back home. That's the system I created. The education is a mess. It's a total mess. You still get high school student or person who go to high school teaching high school. What difference you see? What a difference. So I think the government has to be more innovative. Right? Build teachers' quarter. If you build teachers, you're going to take someone from Monrovia to go teach in Nima. Because person can just his bed, everything in that room, will live on teacher quarter. They will pay rent. When you pay the man $275 or $200, then one of the men will go Tabata or live in Tabata. Where you have to pay rent, where you have to get a children. So at the end of the day, people supposed to be fair. That's why people pay a good salary. They not be making the money. You look at President Entertainment Office, they're more to the middle. But the poor person in the class who teaching, that walking in shoes, he now lay one side. The transfer you get now, throw all on it. That person makes $75 either. But the president will get 3 million in the budget as for her news. So it's a thing that we keep saying. We keep saying, I hope like the new minister, because she left in America, she was here before, she was teaching here. I hope that maybe she will make a difference because since together, no different we are seeing. And see all to answer. They see answer. They see to see with her. There's no difference. Look at the last result that came out. Look at the Liberia. What on a PhD? The University Liberia or PhD look at Campo. Is that PhD Campo there? Is that fun to play out Liberian people? Is that PhD Campo there? University Liberia? They will say, oh, Liberia will get better, will get better. We'll say we'll bien. We'll get better because other countries going ahead. Students now in other countries now, they're using computers. How many schools in Liberia use computers? I in America, it took me time to get used to it because when I do my assignment, it's a difficult issue. Because in Liberia, no, they didn't have school. So what are doing? What kind of system is introducing our people? Our children start using Apple in school. What kind of system is introducing? Our teachers to start presenting, they know to have computers, start presenting on what they're doing. They say chalk at UL. You go to UL, see chalk. They use the two materials in the same lab. So they want to make a difference. What China are going ahead? What other countries are going ahead? They will still be here. I'm not going to wait in our country until teach the mentality in our government how to stand up. They're not about SYZ, they're not about opposition, they're not about ruling decision, but the country, the government how to stand up and do all the tasks. One your school is not necessary for me. It's not necessary. When we build those schools are in the interior, when we build those schools and build headquarters for our people, our teachers to live there to impart knowledge to our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace, and thank you to Mana Lorena. Thank you to Yelese. Thank you to the CEO. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Tomorrow we'll be here and we'll be discussing security issue. We will be diving into the Asan case in Liberia. Why is it taking that much time? So the security expert will be here tomorrow and we'll be discussing this. Today, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency received 15 pickups, and out of I think pickups and jeep from the government of Liberia to enhance their operation across the country. I'm hoping and praying that these materials, some of them will be given to the counties and everything will not just stay in Montserrat. And I hope and pray that the DEA will do massive recruitment so that we can have a lot of DEA personnel across the country to take care of the entire borders within Liberia. But it was a wonderful show tonight. It was a great one. Tomorrow we'll be here and we'll be discussing issues affecting Liberia. Thank you guys for being
So what's the person that will blow up tomorrow?
Let me get her name. Her name is tough, but I think we were sending the chat room. Yeah, they were sending the chat room. But again, it was a wonderful show tonight. It was a great one. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Chris, Yelese, and Lorena. I hope to see all of you guys tomorrow. Have a pleasant good night.
I just see up on the inner man. We'll talk also this